Hey Caroline, are you free right now? I hope you've thought about moving in together. We've talked about it so many times. We haven't talked about it at all since then. I'm still doing okay, but it's been 3 years since my husband passed away. I'm not young anymore. I think it's a good idea for us to start living together sooner rather than later. Good evening, Fiona. Ah, that? Let me be honest with you, since you don't seem to understand in a roundabout way. We can't have another person live here with us at this moment. Huh? What do you think you're saying that based on? You are currently unemployed, right? Daniel told me that you recently quit your part-time job. If you really want to live with us, you have to work. Huh? Instead of taking care of an old lady, you want me to work? Why should I work if I'm going to live with my son and his wife? How dare you talk to me like that? I mean, you're being supported by him, and who do you think you are? But I'm working too. Huh? Working? Don't make me laugh. A shifty part-timer doesn't have a right to speak like that. No, I work full-time. Don't get me wrong. I quit my job in preparation for moving in with you guys. What? It's hard for me to commute. It takes me an hour to get to my workplace from your house. In that case, I have no choice but to quit. Your job was cashier, right? Then why don't you find one nearby before you move in? You're so picky. All about money. Forget it. I've decided to move in with you. And you know, I don't like small houses and I can't live with 3 people in a 1DK apartment. Buy a house or an apartment right away. At least sign a lease for a bigger apartment and move out as soon as possible. No. What is impossible is impossible. Please do not decide on your own. The size should be at least 3 LDK. Please don't behave recklessly. I didn't agree to live with you. I didn't ask for your opinion. This is a mother-in-law's decision. I'll talk to Daniel since he's the head of the family, and we'll decide as we go along. So you should start packing your things too. That's terrible. That's too selfish. Fiona, what did you do? You sent a resignation letter to my workplace without my permission? Yes, I did. It was for your own good. I'm glad they received it. You're glad? So it was you after all. Why would you do that? Why are you harassing me like that? If you quit the company, you wouldn't know what to do. Now you'll have to move in with me. Fiona, you were close. That resignation letter is invalid. Huh? Of course. It wasn't written by me. Besides, I'm a competent person at my company. Do you know what will happen if I quit? You don't have to get so hyper. You just need to concentrate on moving out and getting ready to move in with me, and then find another job when you move back in. It may be difficult to find a full-time job, but there are plenty of part-time jobs out there. I can't be that patient. A part-time? Do you think we have enough savings? Huh? I've had many discussions with Daniel, but he doesn't even think about earning more. I want him to think more about the future and work more diligently, and yet... Can you tell him about it? If you want to live together, that's the first step. Caroline, do you even know what you're saying? You spend that much money? Excuse me? How can you say that his income is not enough? How can you live like that? Do you know how much his income is? Of course! I am his mother. Of course I know. I heard it directly from him. Do you really think, with that amount of money, that we can both live a normal life without any jobs? Yes! Why do you ask? If you don't spend much money outside, we will have more than enough. Actually, more. I'm not spending a lot. I'm saving it. Oh my! How extravagant you are! I can't believe you need to save money with his income. Excuse me, Fiona. I feel we are not on the same page. Are you okay? Do you really know how much he earns? You're persistent! I told you I heard from him. Is your sense of finances okay? How have you been living until now? That's rude. Same to you. I'm a normal person. I can say that saving money is my hobby. I thought it's you who have a different sense. Oh my God! That's stubbornness and boldness. We can't communicate. I'll talk it over with Daniel. Oh, by the way, he has been staying at your house, right? Yes, I'm keeping him around. It would be better if he stayed here so that I can talk to him. He doesn't respond to any texts or calls from me. Why is that? I don't want him to get on your bad side. I don't want you to interfere with our plans to move in together. Hey, please don't proceed with the conversation on your own. If I respect your opinion, which you are against, we will not be able to move on at all. I'll tell you when everything is finalized regarding moving in together. I can't take that in. I am his wife. That attitude is only for now. Once we start living together, I will put a lot of effort into training you, so be prepared.
Hey sis, long time no see. Can I talk to you? I'm in a bit of trouble.
Hey Keith, long time no see, what's up?
I'm on my way home from a business trip.
Oh really? Finally? Congratulations!
Well, my house was stolen. I mean, it's like, I know it's kind of weird.
Huh? What are you talking about? There's no way that could happen.
It's been a while since I went home, so I thought I'd use this weekend to do some maintenance on my house over here. But it seems like someone is living in there. I went there at night and the lights were on.
What? We have to call the police about that.
Of course, I was in a hurry and thought about doing that too. But when I asked the neighbors first, they told me that someone moved in a week ago. I don't want to tell you this, but I heard your husband and his mother's name.
What? How is that possible?
I don't know. I thought it would be a good idea to check with you before I call the police since you have the key to my house, so I texted you. Do you have any idea?
Hold on a second. I want to check on something. Sorry, I think they've done it. It's my fault.
What happened?
I put the key in the safe so that I don't lose, but it's missing. Only Daniel and I know the password to that safe, so maybe he took it.
Why in the world would they do that?
Actually, his mother was pushing me to move in with her. But I told her that in order to live with us, she would have to work too. She told me that she had already quit her part-time job, and I didn't have to work if I'm going to live with her.
Well, you can't live like that. You work full-time, so you guys are able to make the living, right? She doesn't have a job and wants to live with you?
I've tried to explain it to her, but it seemed like we were not on the same page. Daniel is at her house and ignoring my calls. I've been having a hard time communicating with them, and it has led to this mess.
I see. They have done it in a very sneaky way. So, they decide everything without talking to you and making you trouble since you don't listen to them. I don't know why, but I'm guessing that they decided to use my house to live. That's a pretty bold move. Perhaps they took the advantage of the fact that the house owner, which is me, is away on a 3-year business trip at the local branch office, huh? Well, that sounds smart but brazen.
Maybe that's what they are planning. Sorry, Keith. I'll do something about it. I never thought they would steal the house you bought.
It's not your fault, sis. So, let me think what I can do. Of course, I'll help you.
Where are you now?
At my friend's place. I've got a place where I can settle down, so I'm fine. You just take care of yourself.
Okay, thanks. I can't forgive them. I'll call his mother. Depending on what they say, I'm prepared for the worst case. Fiona, how are you? It seems that you moved out without telling me. But where on earth did you move to? Oh, Caroline! I was just about to call you. I wouldn't do something so mean. Am I correct in assuming that Daniel is with you at your new place? Yes, of course. My son is with me. I didn't tell you because you are so insane and stubborn that I decided to give you a punishment before we move in together. Why would you do that? I don't remember doing anything to be punished. You are still saying that? I feel sorry for Daniel who has a wife like this. If you continue to be so selfish, we will have to consider divorce. What have I done? I don't remember doing anything to lead to divorce. That's enough. You're being supported by him. God, you're wrong. You think I'm the one being supported by him? That's right. We don't need a wife who doesn't treat her husband well, who makes $7,000 a month. $7,000? Did he really say $7,000? If you don't want to get divorced, apologize and agree to live with me. I'll forgive you if you apologize properly. Of course, I'll tell you where to move in after that. If you get down on your knees and beg me to move in with you, I'll tell you where to live. LOL. Demanding me to get down on my knees through a text? You want me to send you a picture of me on my knees? Yeah, that's a good idea. That's nice. I decline. Huh? There's no reason for me to do that. I don't have to apologize, and why should I? Caroline! All you do is talk back at me like that. You really are stubborn. Is it okay if Daniel divorces you? Yes, I'm so tired of it, so it's fine. Maybe it's better that way. Huh? Because think about it. I can divorce a husband with $700 income every month. What $700? Yes, his monthly income is $700. Did you know? It's just a part-time job. Don't make bad jokes. What the hell are you saying? Daniel is a high-class employee. His monthly salary is $7,000. You don't understand. Who told you $7,000? I told you many times. I asked Daniel. When I asked him about his monthly income, he used his fingers to say 7. With his fingers, wow. So he didn't verbally say 7,000? What? Surely he would be embarrassed to say 700. It's also your problem to assume it's 7,000 instead of thinking it as 700. Unfortunately, it is true that his income is $700. And yet, you've caused such trouble and people involved who have nothing to do with it. I don't want a husband like that anymore. Oh, fine. Same to you. I don't need a lying wife either. Well then, divorcing would be fine, right? I mean, I'm divorcing him. Then I'll be relieved. Yeah, sore loser. Well then, Daniel and I will live happily together in this 4DK house that he bought for me. Sorry, no. That house will be returned to its real owner. What? Return it? The real owner? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean. Caroline? What the hell is this? It's you, isn't it? Your brother came to me and asked me to leave this house. You siblings are just like each other. What's going on? Oh, he already came? What the hell? What do you mean he already came? Give me a break. That house was purchased by my brother. Huh? My brother Keith had a dream of having his own house from an early age. In order to buy a house, he worked hard at part-time jobs since he was a student, and after 8 years of working, he got his own house at the age of 26, even though he is single. You and Daniel moved into that precious house. What are you talking about? When his house was built, He couldn't live there yet because he was transferred to a local branch office for a limited period of 3 years. While he was away, I kept the spare key since I live in the next town. But it seems that Daniel took that spare key without permission and in a secret.
What?
I don't know what you heard from him, but it must have been very frustrating for my brother, who is the real owner of the house. It's a brand new house. When he came home from maintenance, such as weeding the garden and cleaning the house, he found out that someone had been living there. Of course, he would ask you guys to leave. I'm so confused. What am I supposed to do? It's simple. Why don't you just leave? I don't recommend you to run away or stay in the house because it won't be good for you. I can't just leave right away. Then you tell your brother that he should give this house to me and Daniel right now. Yes, that's it. Huh? What are you saying? Are you okay? Oh, of course I'm sure. He's the wife's brother, so he should listen to in-laws. What you're saying is insane. But unfortunately, actually, me and Daniel were not married anymore. Huh? Just a while ago, I finalized the divorce. What? That's impossible! Daniel hasn't responded yet. No, I had already asked him long ago. I'm so glad I prepared for it. What do you mean? You really don't know anything, do you? Daniel quit the company 6 months ago without telling me. What? That's a lie, right? Well, I thought it was irresponsible, but I can't help that he already quit. So I was working full-time for a while, supporting our life, and thinking that in the meantime, he could work part-time and look for a job. But what was he thinking? He didn't start looking for a job after a month, and occasionally go out for a short-term job or a day job, and the rest of the time, he would just laze around. I tried to rush him, but it only ended up in a fight. I was afraid that if we didn't do something, we would both fall apart. So I made him respond the paper with the promise that if he didn't find a new job in the next 5 months, we would get divorced. But when I looked at the calendar, I saw that the deadline had passed, so unfortunately, we are divorced. A part-time job? A day job? No way! You've got to be kidding! Then is it true that he earns $700? You should ask him for the number firmly and verbally. I'm not his wife anymore. I am divorced, so I have no further interest in telling his financial situation. And since you guys are trespassing, my brother has called the police. The police? Of course. You're staying in someone else's house without permission. Please get out of my brother's house as soon as possible. It's better for your own sake. That's all I have to say. Please accept this as my last kindness. Excuse me, Caroline! Now, if you'll excuse me.
How's it going, sis? Anything I can do to help?
Well, I've decided where I'm going to move to, so I guess the first thing I need to do is packing.
I see. Well, I'll go help. Leave the heavy lifting to me.
Hey, what are you going to do with that house? It's a great new place to live, but you know that thing happened before the actual owner lives in?
Haha, I know, right? Oh yeah. I wanted to tell you something about that. Actually, the land in that area has skyrocketed and I was able to sell it for almost as much as I paid for it. I couldn't live in that place anymore, so...
Oh wow, that's great.
I got the fee for the inconvenience from them, and when I get transferred back here, I'll look for a better place to live.
Yeah, take your time to find a nice house this time, okay? I'll help you too. I'm glad it didn't become a negative experience for you.
I know, right? I'm totally fine. And you too, sis. I know you're starting from scratch again, but hang in there. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Well, call me anytime. I'll come visit you at your new place when I get out of the busy work season.
Yeah, see you. After talking to Fiona, she was taken in a police car with Daniel, and she was sobbing. Even at the police station, she kept making excuses, making everyone tired. Finally, her uncle came to pick them up from the countryside and took them home. She had been lied by Daniel that he had bought a house, so she was a victim in one way. They had a big fight every day because she mistakenly thought that his monthly salary was $7,000 instead of $700. But the uncle got furious and told them both to work, and then they finally started to look for a job. Thanks to this, I finally live in peace. My hard work was praised at work, and I was successfully promoted to a full-time employee. I was able to start my post-divorce life with stability. As a side note, Fiona's habit of making wild assumptions has not been changed. I heard a few months later that she caused some trouble in my old apartment and the landlord sued her for damages.